Good afternoon, fifth grade students. I am going to show you guys a little, this is Mrs. Webb. I'm going to show you a little bit about the magazine bowls. A lot of you guys have asked questions about those. I had put magazine bowls and sculptures because you can actually make, sculptures out of this process, but I think that would be for more of someone on like an advanced level. But this is just something you guys can do when you have, like, you need to kind of wind down a little bit. You can make these paper strips, and when you roll them all together, you can push the bottom out into sort of a bowl. So I was going to demonstrate that for you really quickly. And a lot of people were commenting that they didn't have magazines at home, and that's completely okay. You can use basically any sort of thin-ish paper. So I'm going to give you some examples here. This will be kind of fun. So I get the Metro Press for Woodmore, but I also get the one for Oregon. I don't need to know what's going on in Oregon, even though I live here. So I just take those little magazine pieces, and instead of having one large sheet, I just rip it down the middle and down the middle to get these smaller size papers. So magazines work really good. I mean, newspaper kind of papers work really good. You guys will recognize this. So any sort of old notebook pages or workbook pages, not your current Go Math book. Attention, like, I don't want your math teachers getting upset with me because you're using your new, chapter 10 workbook that you're supposed to be doing work out of. But if you have an older one that, those concepts are already mastered, the ones for the younger kids, the papers are a little thinner, so that works too. I have some other things here, like I have an old bill that I really don't feel like paying, so I'm gonna put that into my magazine. I'm just kidding, I'll pay it later, but example, because that's on like a little bit thinner paper. These are Gomets. And then my kids also get highlights. Sometimes those have sort of thin, like, pages that are easy to bend. Basically, you just want any kind of paper that's sort of thin. Not as thin as tissue paper, but it can't be as thick as construction paper. And then I'm gonna probably have to turn the camera down just for a second. But let's go over one more little thing before we get started. Adhesives. So adhesives are like used to glue two things together. Now, you guys know there are certain things that work really well and certain things that don't work really well. So let's go over some examples of things that might not go as well as planned, but you're welcome to try it, or maybe not. I don't want your parents to get mad at me. So a good adhesive maybe for some people would be gum. So I have a piece of gum here. We'll try it out in a minute. Syrup, I'm not 100% if this will work or not, and I don't know if your parents, like, this is like the real stuff, so I probably wouldn't appreciate my kiddos using this as an adhesive, and this one's really runny, but if you have an old one, you never know. So people have been struggling with finding glue at home. You just gotta improvise. Chocolate syrup, I don't think chocolate syrup is necessarily an adhesive. I don't think we're gonna try it today, but you guys kind of get the idea. But some of the good adhesives. So I also had because I am gonna try sticking gum. We'll see what happens. But also I have this older, like, Google, like, sticky note pad, and I don't use this very much at home, and I have a ton of them at school, so I'm just gonna, like, use the sticky part of this. I mean, why not? We're gonna try it. So it's all stuff that I found around the house. Now, disclaimer, like, if you know your mom is gonna get mad because you try something like this, please don't do it, because I don't want your parents to be upset with me. But other good adhesives I had found are, I took this out of the garage. I'm super hoping that my husband doesn't care, but this is wood glue. You could possibly use something like this if you have it laying around. A stapler, you could staple two things. That's kind of an adhesive. This is actually not probably gonna work. This says seal tape, so I think it's for plumbing uses. So we're gonna put that one off to the side. We are not gonna try that one today. But I have clear tape. I have some other random, this might be like medical tape or something. And this tape is some type of electrical tape, but it works pretty good. So as long as you ask your parent if you can, try one of these for this project, I'm okay with whatever you want to make your magazine bowl out of. So we're going to try some examples. I think the best you know, things for sticking. So, oh, I had some other examples here too. So I had stamps. Stamps are not going to be a good idea because if you notice they usually have a price on them. That means they cost money. That means they're worth something. So we're probably not going to use stamps. Super glue, you could accidentally maybe glue your fingers together. So this is like if you have nothing else and your parent says it's okay. I don't know. I have all kinds of things. I found random glue sticks that were like half used by my kids in their bedroom, and it's like, why am I buying new ones every year, guys? Like, seriously, there's like these, this one doesn't even look like it's been used. So, and then I had found this, like, I had ordered this rainbow roll of tape, so we could do a rainbow, you know, magazine bowl too. This would be kind of fun. But whatever you guys find and you ask your parent, like, hey, I have to make this recycle, or I want to try this recycled project. Can I use this, that, or the other? I have some regular Scotch tape. And I had found some stickers that came in the highlights book that my kids didn't use. Of course, I pay for a monthly subscription. They don't always use it. But hey, we're just gonna recycle all this stuff and see what happens. So with our magazine, like our pages, our magazine pages, which it can be anything, like I told you, I'm just gonna turn the camera down so that you guys can see the countertop, because we really have to kind of pay attention to how we fold these. And I don't think it matters. Oh, I don't want you guys to see my dirty dishes. So I don't think it matters so much like exactly how you're folding them, but you want to end with like a little tab here. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. If you didn't watch the video, I uploaded some videos from other people because they had such good ideas for like the finished product. But I want to make sure we all know how to successfully make our strips. So we want a bunch of these paper strips. Oh, I don't want you to see the final product. You gotta hide that over there. I already started one, but don't tell anyone. But let's do the magazine, or the newspaper paper first. I keep saying magazine, sorry guys. So basically, I'm just gonna fold over one of the corners. I didn't even fold it all the way. Like it doesn't matter. This can be really like loosey-goosey. There's no, you know, super important part to this, but I think the most difficult part that I had was getting all of the pieces to be the same size. And guess what? In the grand scheme of things, it actually doesn't matter. You just want them to be similar. They don't have to be the same. So I try to make sure my paper, like when I start folding this little crease, is not much wider or about the same width as like my finger, my pointer finger. And then at the end of this, we'll just try some gum here and see how that goes. I'm gonna glue this together. We'll see. We'll see if that stays. Oh goodness. You know, shout out to Mrs. Howard. She suggested that, you know, you could use like maybe boogers. I told her that wasn't sanitary, but I'm going to fold a few of these so you guys can see it. So again, oh no, see, this was a page not even used out of Go Math, which is no big deal because I know that some of these concepts are repeated. I'm not mad about it. My daughter has like a really beautiful drawing in here. Maybe I shouldn't, but it's okay. She has a ton of drawings. So again, I'm not folding it all the way over. I'm folding it like just in a little bit so that I can start folding. None of this is like cut in stone. Again, like when I start folding this way, I'm folding on that like diagonal because I want to end with this little point to glue down. Hopefully you guys can kind of see it at that angle. Oh, this one's really wonky. Oh goodness. I think we should use rainbow tape on this one. All right, let's see what happens. I'll do a little rainbow tape because I like rainbows. You may too, who knows? And I'll show you with a couple different types of products here. All right, rainbow tape sticking. Oh gosh, I got this on a clearance rack. Okay, so let's fold. Oh, this one was glued with a glue stick, and then let's use a key. Oh, let's use this old bill. Get this out of here. I don't want to pay that. I'm totally kidding, guys. I pay my bills. Don't worry. Sometimes. All right. So again, not perfect. I just want to get to where it's like a strip of paper that has like these two pointy ends and then like a little spot for me to glue. They are not all the same size. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep, and then you wanna make sure you like press these down pretty good when you're doing this. All right, what kind of tape should we use? I'm not gonna use that medical tape because it's a little dirty, but we could try this tape, or maybe not because I need scissors. Let's see. Some scissors over here. Oh, perfect. Look, these aren't too small for me at all. Oh my, these are students or something. Shh. All right, let's just be careful. Don't cut your fingers like I almost did. So here's some electrical tape. As long as like your parent isn't gonna get mad, it really doesn't matter like what adhesive you use. I mean, I could staple it. It doesn't matter. We'll do one more. These fold really easily, so I'm gonna use this newspaper stuff. So again, just fold it in. Not perfect in any way. And then just start folding. So when I do my first fold, I'm kind of visually checking that that's like the same width. As soon as I fold that corner in, I just start rolling it down. Oh, this might be one of the, uh-oh, this is one from Elmore and Woodville. Oopsie. I think I read this already though, so it's no big deal. Oh, what shall we stick this one together with? Oh, we could use some regular Elmer's glue. That would be a good experiment. Always pick off your glue boogers. Don't cut them off, remember, because if you cut the tops off, it's really hard to get them to stay. And remember, dot, dot, not a lot, guys. If you put too much on here, it's not going to be sticking good. Okay. So, after you have, you know, just as many as you feel like I make like 5 at a time, and then I start rolling, and I'll show you exactly what that like process is gonna look like. So I need a pencil. Doesn't really matter what the inside looks like. You just want to kind of straight, like as much as you can, keep this sort of straight. And you can wrap it around a pen, it doesn't matter, just something round. If you have a pencil at home. I like pencils because I feel like they stay pretty good, but I'm trying to keep this first roll pretty tight on here. Okay, and look, it's like kind of crinkling up my paper. It's not folding because, you know, perfection doesn't exist. So if we strive for it, we'll just get frustrated. We just want to do our best. And now this is the tricky part, is when you add the next piece. So this is where I said, you know, this is another part, any adhesive, oh, I gotta close this guy for yours out. Any adhesive works good. Just maybe not something that your parents are gonna get mad that you're using, you know, like food items, you know, you never know. But I'm gonna put, let's try this little Post-it sticky stuff. And the object is to stick these two pieces together, but not to like your current piece that you have. So I'm sticking these pieces together. Now, there are some people that take all these strips and stick them all together in one long line, but I'm just gonna kind of keep rolling here. It's looking pretty good so far. But see, it's straight, but it's not perfect in any way, guys. See, I'm kind of crinkling up here at the end. All right. So the next one, same thing. I add some type of adhesive. I'm gonna use a little bubble gum here. Why not? Oh gosh, seems like it's kind of slobbery. And then you just keep sticking these pieces together. It's just so that as you roll, everything stays together. Oh, that's the piece that already had some gum on it. All right. You really do want to use glue or tape, guys. I'm being silly, but you know, if you really like want to try to get something created and you don't have some of these resources, it's not a big deal. This project is optional anyway. It was just something like sort of interesting. You know, we can talk about like saving the environment a little bit. I'll use one of these old stickers from the Highlights magazine. Stick those bad boys together. But you can see, like, I will roll this up but I already have one that started. Now, some people have asked me, like, what if the pencil falls out? It's okay. If the pencil comes out at this point, it's going to be fine. We'll just keep rolling. And then also, like, if it comes unraveled. So I have a couple of ways to show you about unraveling. So I'm going to bring this back up a little bit so you guys can, I can show you guys and not be, like, leaning over the counter. All right. So this is pretty fun, the rolling this up. So let's pretend like I was a person that made a bunch of these. I've got this one stuck. And so in order to make more strips, I took some masking tape and just stuck it like that. And I just keep reusing the same masking tape. So we're gonna see if after we add these couple of strips, if we can kind of get this to form into a bowl. Now, the more strips you add and the bigger this circle becomes, the bigger, like, you know, sculpture you're gonna have at the end. I also have a glue stick. Glue sticks are probably the preferred method for most people, but you know, I'm not always most people. And I just find at a certain point that it's easier, honestly, if the pencil comes out. I think it's easier. So I'm gonna continue sticking this one on here. Like I said, I'm gonna use my glue stick just because that's what I'm comfortable with. Oh yeah, wait, this one has gum on it. Let's put this here. I just thought my 5th graders would enjoy talking about some funny things that you could use as adhesives. Let's put this last piece on here. But the first few pieces that I used were actually with masking tape. And let me show you one more thing. So I could either just like stick these two pieces together, or I like to kind of put this one, once I have the adhesive on there, whatever I'm using, then I see if it'll go in the other side. So I look at which end is smaller and bigger, and I just like put them inside of each other because I think it works out pretty good. Just make sure that guy's on there. All right. So again, if it unravels, you just start again, put it on your pencil, and you keep going. I can't tell you how many times I've been making these and they unravel on me, which can actually be pretty frustrating. I'm gonna do this last one because I already have it made. Might as well. Now in the art room, after this point, we would probably have them sitting in a box kind of to dry, but I'm not gonna be able to do that. And then what I usually do is have you masking tape the last piece and put your name on that masking tape. So I'm just gonna use my reused one because we're kind of making a recycled project anyway. Let's put a cute sticker on it actually, guys. We'll put a bee on here because we're saving the planet by making art out of recycled items. So once you have this, this is really easy. Again, if it unravels, you are gonna take this tape off and you're gonna redo what you did, and it'll be easier the next time because it'll all be, you know, stuck together with whatever adhesive you used. But you want to grab this, I guess I'll zoom down one more time. You're gonna push with your thumbs as you like brace it with your hands. And this is the part where things can unravel, and that's okay. And some people actually like to set it down while they do this, so then they just keep their thumbs inside. It's kind of like when we're making a pinch pot. It's very similar. And then you just slowly pull up the edges of this. Okay, so it takes a little bit. It might take you a couple times, but then I have a little cup or a bowl that I can use. Which we would normally do in the art room, but we don't have the supplies for that. Sorry guys, camera difficulties. I had planned for Noelle to be my camera person, but apparently she's talking to her friends. But the more you kind of pull this up, the chances are of you like undoing it are better. But see, I've done this a few times, so I kind of know. But after you've pulled this up as much as you feel comfortable, you can take, like, you could just set it aside until you have glue, or if you are using Elmer's, you can sort of, Elmer's glue works really good, or any sort of a liquidy, or like Mod Podge, some people have that, or Mod Podge, some people have that, but I usually take Elmer's and then kind of like smear it on the outside, because then once it dries, so make sure you dry it like outside or something on the concrete, although it was snowing a little bit ago, so not a good plan today. But when you're able to, put some glue on the outside, and then when it dries, it has like a nice coating of glue on the outside, and you can actually put things in here. Like I've seen people use them as like little pencil cups. You know, you could store your little art goodies that you just used inside. It's just an easy, quick way to make a sculpture. And that's why I had shared that other video where people had made sculptures from doing this same thing. So, because anything that's round is gonna work just fine for that. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. And if you have any questions, let me know. I'm sorry this video is so long. I just wanted to make sure we were clear. You can use like any adhesive, like the stapler I was going to use for like attaching pieces together if you wanted to make one long strip, but I don't want this video to be like 30 minutes. So, all right, I will see all of you guys as soon as possible, and have fun with your magazine bows. Remember, if you are sending me a picture, it's better at this point to just attach it in the Google Classroom. I put a video on Google Classroom for how you attach pictures. There's also like a Google Forms for each project, just in case you need to use that instead. But email me with any questions, and then send your work to the Google Classroom. Thanks, guys. Have a great Wednesday.